This model kit review is of the Pontiac Firebird, the 1977 version, which was used in the movie Smokey and the Bandit, and it is a 1/25th scale model by Revell, and that's the finished model there. Here's a picture from the movie. It's a quite nice looking model. Here are the dimensions and some of the details there. Colors, same picture. There's some other pictures there. It looks like a very nice looking model. And let's have a look inside and see what we've got. Looks like we've got a lot of sprues here. So we've got, looks like an axle here, some screws, and then some wheel hubs there. I guess that'll be for the front, because they will turn. Here we have some tires, and made out of fairly stiff vinyl. And they look like they're all about the same size. Okay, now here we've got our main body. And that's a nice looking body. Looks like we've already got the hood in place. That'll need to be glued there so it can go up and down. You can then see the engine bay. Need to get that back in the right place. There we go. But that is very nicely molded. It fits great. And little mold lines there, really not bad at all. That's a great great body there. Next we've got our chrome parts, and this is the kind of chrome that I like to remove. Here are our wheels, and we've got valve covers there. There's our instrument panel. We've got our lights and rear lights. Here's our license plate, some more engine parts, exhaust parts, and so on. Here we have our glass. There's our rear glass and headlights. We've also got our rear glass, our windshield there, and then our T-tops there. Now these sprues here, this looks like this is our subframe there for the suspension. Here's our rear suspension, rear axle and drive shaft. Got some more shock absorbers there. This is our engine firewall, radiator, fan shroud there, and our pulleys and belts there. All fairly well molded. Here we have the other parts of our wheels. Got our air intake there. We've got our fan, another belt, and we've got a cowboy hat there. Maybe we've got a figure as well, and distributor cap maybe, and maybe our CB radio. Here is our chassis. That looks very nicely molded. Fair amount of detail. We've got our fuel tank here, and the subframe. Okay, here is our floor pan with our rear seats molded in, central console area, and parts of our engine bay, the wheel wells there. Also got the rears of our seats. Here is the front of the seat, as well as our dashboard, our steering column there with steering wheel, and then our door panels. It's the insides here. Here we've got our engine block with our transmission built in. Here's our exhaust, and here's our oil pan. And then this looks like, actually I don't know what that part's for. Maybe the back of the engine. We'll have to have a look and see what that is. And then our headers. Here is our front grille, or front bumper actually. Our little mirrors here on the side. And the vents, that's our air intake cover. And then that's the top of the engine. So let's have a look and see our instructions and decals. Here are the decals, and it's a lot easier than painting them on, that's for sure. Here's our beautiful gold and black eagle, the Firebird. We've got our license plates, the 6.6 liter, and then all the black and gold trim. Now we're going to have a look at our instructions. So there's some details again about the car. Those are the colors needed. Let me start off with building the engine. And we put our cockpit and seats together. Put the hat as an optional extra on the seat there, passenger seat. Put our door sides on. Brake booster goes on there, as well as the cylinders. Then we do our dashboard. That's all then mounted on our cockpit, and the engine's then mounted. Put our cockpit on the chassis, and now we're going to put our fan together. That's all then mounted. Put our glass inside and mount it all on the body. Here we're putting our exhaust parts together. Subframe goes on, muffler and exhaust, and there's our rear axle and shock absorbers. There's the actual axle for the wheels, and then depending on which way you want to have it for ride height, which hole you put it through. And again, wheels, that's our rear glass and our license plates. We put our air intake together, as well as our front grille and headlights. The parts then get assembled onto the main body, and all the extra little pieces, including the glass, sides, vents, and so on. Here's our painting and decal guide. And let's see here. So they recommend gluing the license plate on rather than putting it onto water. It gives it some thickness. All in all, that's actually a great kit. Some good detail, good decals.